Hi, rockers. Vegas Rock Goddess here on the rocks. Total entertainment. Coming to you live from somewhere off the Las Vegas Strip. Today, I have a very special interview with Angel Dust from Five-Headed Cobra. So he's knocking on the door, so let's let him in. Here he comes. We're going to let it, Angel Dust. Are you there? Hello.
What's up?
Okay, now we're connected. Finally, right?
How are you?
I just love the internet. So how's it going? I'm really excited about this show coming up at Vamped.
Yeah, well, I'm excited too. I put my war paint on and everything.
You look great.
Thank you.
So for the viewers who aren't familiar with your band, can you tell us a few things about like when you guys got together?
So maybe I should shut that back light from.
Okay, sure. If you want to, go ahead. Yeah, it's fine.
It's gonna bum the dog out, but
there we go.
It's gotta be better. Now you're in the darkness of the studio. Way cooler.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah, so it's a crazy story. I was I was up for the gig to replace Scott Weiland in Velvet Revolver, and then I was up for replacing Chester Bennington in Stone Temple Pilots, and like all of this, there was all this energy around, you know, me singing for this band and then that band, and I started meeting all these people, and I had the opportunity to like write and jam with both bands, which was amazing. Like basically, you know, fronting fucking Guns N' Roses, you know, like in rehearsals or jams and stuff. So that was insane. And then that created this like energy behind the project that kind of superseded what I was doing, and it became more of like almost like a not a jam band, but like an all-star band. So we went out to the desert and we recorded, and on the first we did it at Rancho de la Luna, and the first iteration of it included man, it was crazy. We had like Greg from from Bad Religion. We had Brent Hines from Mastodon. We had Dave Kushner from Velvet Revolver. We did not have a drummer. We had Greg Gotti from Blackpool Republic. We didn't have a drummer, and that was like proving to be really hard to nail down. And then in the situation, like I had just met this guy Kelly, and we just completely hit it off. And he was like, it was like one of those things where you meet somebody and the person's just like super cool, and you know all the same people, and you're like, how do I not fucking know you? Like it was the weirdest thing. And essentially what happened was we became fast friends, and we were motorcycle riding buddies, which is crazy too, because Cody Jones, you know, one of the guitar players was Kelly's motorcycle riding buddy. So we all kind of came in through motorcycles, and this was like the iteration of the band that was like the live version that you're going to see on the 19th at Vamped, right? And so we had you know, all these rad musicians. We had all these, God, Chad Ginsburg from CKY was there. Ronnie Elvis James from CKY was there, and so it was nuts, right? And Kelly was like, dude, I play drums. And I was like, well, and like he went from hanging out to like, dude, I play drums. And he was like, yeah. And I was like, really? And he's like, yeah, and I'm really fucking good, dude. Like, I'm really good. And I was like, okay. So we put him behind the kit, and he just like, you know, I'm from like the man, hit hard and be fucking serious, like support the music. Like I don't care about drum fills. I don't care about like cool time signatures. Like this is rock and roll. Like it's like
he just crushed it is what
he just crushed it. Like Are you familiar with like Hunt Sales,
Uh-huh.
drummer? Yeah, like just rock drummer, like hard hitting, but a nice fulcrum. So making the drums sing. So he just killed it. And we basically, like at that point we had kind of like the main formation. Um, and yeah, and we're stoked because, like, obviously Vamped is a great venue and they're really supportive of rock music. And not there's not a lot of support for rock music right now. And I think the main point of this and what we're doing is that we don't want to be another fucking hard rock band with white guys with tattoos and like
Right.
beards, and like we're all tough and we're standing there like, eh.
We've already seen all that, right?
I'm fucking sick. I'm over it. Like it's been happening. Like it's almost like a scourge. Like it's been going since 2000. Like, well, first of all, that has been going since like obviously like since
Right.
2000, 1998. It became the thing. Like, we're gonna wear black. We're gonna be white. We're gonna have big beards. And we're gonna have tattoos. And we're all gonna stare at the camera like we're mad at somebody. And it's like that's not sexy, man. And that's not what rock and roll, like what I love about rock and roll is like Alice Cooper, Kiss, David Bowie.
Yes.
Like, dude, like, you can be as boring as you want. Just be boring somewhere else, man. Like, let's do something, even if it's not new, like let's bring the sex appeal back and let's do something, remotely interesting and fresh and dangerous.
Yeah, I really think in 24, rock is taking a turn for the better. We got to get back to the music.
Yeah.
It's not about what you look like. It's not about if you got long hair down to here, if you're wearing all black, you know what I mean? It's about the music.
Well, for me, honestly, like it's about way more than music. It's about
right, of course.
For me, it's about the spectacle. I want people to come to the show and say,
right.
That's the greatest rock and roll band I've ever seen live. It's got everything. And you can't have everything if you're selling out the image and the vibe of what was great about like the New York Dolls, like what was great about the Stooges. Iggy Pop came out and, put peanut butter in his pants famously and pulled it out like it was poop. Okay. I don't know if I'm going over the line here, but, and he ate it. And people thought he was eating his own shit. And it like took the rock and roll world by storm. Or Kiss came out and you had Gene Simmons spitting blood and wearing this demon makeup. Like every single one of these tattoos is like a magical reminder of like the journey of process that I've gone through to be in this moment doing this band for what I believe are the reasons for the artist, not just for rock and roll, for the artist. It's Absolutely. Life and death. AI's here, man. AI is going to take your job. I'm sorry. The Mexicans aren't going to take your job. The fucking poor people are going to take your job. Fucking the rich people are going to take your job with AI. And that's what's happening, right? You're seeing all these strikes. You're seeing what Spotify's doing to artists now. They took our first single down for no reason, charging that there was some kind of like streaming fraud because it blew up, right? And then they were like, you have to tell us what you did, and then you have to pay $10 to put your song back up. Now think about this. Just recently, and I'm going to send you the article. An article came out like literally a couple days ago in Variety saying that they're doing this across the board. It's a money grab because they know that when Congress passes a law to make them pay artists fairly, they're going to lose their bottom line. They're not going to be able to show freaking capitalism that they're winning at the level they want to win at. So they're going to stick it to us. And it's literally war on indie artists. It's war on indie artists. That asshole, Daniel Ek, that owns that company, can't play music. He doesn't even play music. He's richer than Paul McCartney. Like, and now they're doing a campaign against indie artists. Look, if some playlister takes my song on Spotify and then puts juice behind it for their playlist, that's not my fault. But we got banned for that. We got banned for other people's actions. No, there was no appeal process, there was nothing. They took our first single down.
Yeah, that's not right at all.
No, and I'm going to send you the article, Carol, and
Yeah,
I want you to start talking about this with artists.
Yeah.
And I want you to know too, I love your show, man. You're awesome.
Oh, thanks a lot.
I've been watching.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah, since we hooked up, I've been watching your show and like watching what you're doing.
I really appreciate it because I'm here for you guys.
I know you are.
You have a voice. You have a lot to say about this industry.
Yeah.
And I've had many conversations with many bands on how this industry is ruining it.
It's ruining itself. It's eating itself. There will be no indie artists. Right now, Spotify, they don't realize what they're doing. They're a primary location for new emerging artists. Well, what's going to happen? We're all going to friggin' leave. Why am I going to hang out? I'm not going to hang out on your shitty platform while you take artists' royalty money and you invest it in AI, wartime AI to kill people. Look that shit up. That's what Daniel Ek is about, man. He's the opposite of what we are.
And it was funny.
He's the opposite of a creative.
I saw your interview with the two podcasters. I won't mention.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, whatever, buddy. Yeah, great podcast.
Let's go back because I like this subject we're talking about right now.
Yeah.
Let's go back to Napster.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed listening to your take on how all this bullshit started.
Yeah, the whole schematic that I literally like drew out the how this all has transpired and how it's affected affected artists.
Yeah, and this is decades later, and look where we're at.
Yeah, and it's worse than it's ever been. It's like at least we would have been able to control to some degree what Napster was. Now it's completely out of control. If you think that the record labels aren't negotiating sweet deals for themselves and for these artists, you're mistaken. It's 0.0, I think it's 0.032 or 0032. It's their payment schematic, sorry, for an emerging artist is so low that you could have something like 40 million streams and you'd make $1,400. So you could literally be one of the biggest emerging artists in the world and you would not be able to pay 1 month of rent living in the greatest city in the world for entertainment. You can't, man, I'm only here because of rock and roll in LA. Right. I'm about to fuck off to Vegas too. You know what I'm talking about?
I know. And
or Nashville.
Yeah, I know what you're saying. But I mean, the situation right now isn't good for any artist.
No.
And right now, that's why these artists are taking control of their
Yeah.
own shit. Let's talk about that because they don't want to get signed with anybody.
No, nobody wants a record deal now. No. We're really, really lucky in that Tom. I have a shit hot manager named Tom Vitorino, who actually moved to Vegas from LA for.
Was he in the podcast? Is that him? That was on
no, that was a they're making a movie about our journey.
Oh, we're going to talk about that too. We're going to talk.
Yeah, it's called Rock and Roll is Dead, and that was Trip Benowitz, who's the executive producer of the film. And we basically got, we've got people following us around with cameras, and we've got people basically, interviewing us and following the journey and watching what's happening.
Yeah, so, and people need to see it.
Yeah, thank you.
That's what I'm trying to bring to the public's attention.
Yeah.
Okay. Because people are living in glass houses that are in the music industry. They don't understand. I mean, I've been following bands and helping bands since I was 19 years old. Okay. So I know what the struggle is from the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay. So today, it like we're talking about, it's gotten so bad. And I mean, even a band trying to promote themselves is getting shut down.
Yeah, absolutely. You're exactly right. We also art is being censored by big tech, which is crazy. Our first single, the chorus is "Screaming from the mountain, all you whores and bitches gonna know my name." Right now, that's not one of the 5 words that was deemed illegal and that you could not say on the airwaves, right? But just because of the fact that we had, some kind of like, a lyric like that, they shadow banned our single on YouTube. It still got up to like 16,000 plays for an initial release by a first band. That's
Right.
freaking amazing. But yeah, so that song's called "Screaming from the Mountain." You should check it out.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
yeah, so big tech is censoring us all the time. The conversation around where we're going to go next, and that was the question that you asked previously, and I'm going to answer that. We're really lucky to have a big manager who's a believer. That got us signed to a really great agency. Andrew Goodfriend from TKO reps the band live. So we have a really good agency. That in itself is incredible. That's almost impossible to do now. Like, it's amazing, right? From the standpoint of, do you want to get signed, kid? It's like, no, we bloody well don't. We don't want your $2 million advance that we're going to have to pay back. We don't want you to own our masters. I make my masters right here. I own my own recording studio. I've taken, every dime that I've ever made in music, and I've invested it back into myself and into my art. So I, for instance, Beast Brain, the new single that's coming out in a couple of days, it was produced and recorded in my garage. Boom. We don't need record labels anymore.
No.
So Patreon, Bandcamp, SoundCloud, like anything that's not Apple Music, anything that's not Spotify, anything that's not billionaires literally exploiting artists. That's where we really want to take this. And if as artists we can continue, and as creatives such as yourself, if like we can continue this conversation around getting away from that, getting away from getting into our own mobile playlists, getting into organizations that actually support art and don't try to, immediately profit from it. It's one thing to profit. Okay, yes. But this idea of constant growth, of never-ending growth, well, that's to say that we have infinite resources on the planet, or we have infinite resources on our bodies. The reality is yes, the ephemeral in my mind is infinite. My creativity is infinite. But there's only so much food in my house. I'm not going to magically create more food in my house and have 40 people over tonight. It ain't going to happen. I can feed 6 people tonight with the food that's in my house. This idea of constant growth it's completely inexcusable. It's gluttony, and it's disgusting when you try to apply it to art. It doesn't work.
Yeah, because if you look, well, we're just going to go back for a second, but if you look at the 80s, okay, for instance, and how many bands were getting signed, okay, we're talking like every 10 minutes, they were signing a band with a 1 record deal, okay?
Yeah.
And that's, to me, is what ruined the industry. Because
yeah, it's excess.
Yeah.
It's an uncontrollable thirst. Yeah, absolutely.
And now these young kids, okay, young kids are thinking they're getting the Motley Crue deal. They think they're getting
the Motley Crue deal.
Right.
The last record deal I did was with Sony International, and it was one of those deals where like people around me were going, and it was when all this stuff was happening with Velvet Revolver and Stone Temple Pilots.
I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's what put me in that place where I could get a big deal like that. I walked away personally after paying management their percentage, and they're very fair. And after paying my attorney, I walked away with 30 grand. Okay. Nowadays, a record deal with Sony International is going to fully encompass with a 360 deal, which means they own your masters. They own a large chunk of your publishing, and they own your merchandising. So when you sell shirts, you pay them. And the deals are $20,000 all in.
And they own your image. They own the image that's attached to that brand.
Called a 360 deal. It's literally, it's art murder. It's art murder.
Yeah.
It's So, okay, so what are we going to do? Are we going to sit here and cry about it? No.
No.
We're going to start a revolution. We're going to start it here. We're going to start it right now. Let's start talking about this. When you have artists on, talk about Spotify. How do you feel about that? So let's educate artists. Let's find a way forward that doesn't include Spotify, Apple, or Pandora. Let's find something. We can do it.
Yeah, I mean, we forgot about, let me tell you something. We forgot about Pandora real fast when Spotify came out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So, I mean, there's just I'm glad that some artists such as yourself are really taking the reins of their own stuff and they're not letting go.
Thank you.
That's the problem, because if you let go even 1 second, somebody's going to take that and run over it.
Yeah. And you know what? Like, once again, you know, it starts in performance. It starts here. And it starts on stage at Vamped. It's Friday the 19th.
Yep.
It's not this coming Friday, next Friday the 19th.
Right.
Vamped.
And you're playing with a couple of my friends.
Yeah, badass bands, man. Let's talk about those bands. Yeah.
Von Bolt. Okay,
yeah,
that guy, John Van Bolt, man, is killer. This
Yeah.
guy, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Killer. His whole band is just phenomenal.
Yeah, I agree.
Oh my God, that's a band that's taken the reins, man, of their success.
Yes.
And I love it.
Yes, we're gonna have such a great night. We're gonna absolutely rip it into tiny, tiny little pieces. And then the night after that, we're headlining the Whiskey.
Yeah. Now
So,
what an iconic club.
Yeah.
Man, the Whiskey A Go-Go, let me tell you, is legendary.
Yeah.
I'm really excited for you guys.
Yeah, legends were made on that stage. Some of the greatest bands of all time did their debuts there. A lot of people don't know this. Post Malone played his first real show there.
Right.
David Bowie, that was the first show he ever played in America. He played the Sunset Strip. Love was discovered there. The Doors were discovered there.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and prior to that, we headlined the Roxy for our first show ever as a band. We headlined the Roxy Theater.
My God,
another epic night. It was jam-packed. And so to continue like that lineage of like, you know, I don't know, man. It's kind of like, you know, we're walking in the steps of legends. And, you know, I wouldn't be doing this if honestly, when you're taken really seriously in something, it takes everything to the next level. And that was part of the journey of the formation of Five-Headed Cobra in the first place. It was like, you know, man, I'm playing with Slash right now.
Right.
Like, and actually one of the singles that's going to be coming out soon was written with those guys. It's called Can't Stop the Bleeding.
Awesome.
And it was crazy too, because they showed me the song. I started writing on the song. And I felt really guilty because I'm a huge Scott Weiland fan. And it felt really weird to be like working with these guys while he was out there struggling with his demons, right? And I wrote the song about all the stories and the canon behind his life and the things that he'd been about. And yeah, Can't Stop the Bleeding. So that's probably coming out soon. And yeah, so as an indie band and how we plan on doing it is, you know, we do a single. We're going to be really old school. We're going to figure out a way to do it. We're going to shoot a music video for every song. So you've got a visual.
Awesome.
Yeah. So we're going old school on that. Everything's, we're probably going to do a live record. So essentially, as we're putting this stuff out ourselves, we're figuring out what platform it's going to be available on. You can always, YouTube has been very friendly for the most part and fair, aside from censorship. In this new video coming out for Beast Brain, there is a shot fired that kills my onstage persona, right? So it's very much in the world of like Ziggy Stardust, right? And we
Right.
started this with this character, Angel Dust. And so in the video, so on the second video, Beast Brain, you see him die in reverse right at the beginning of the video. It's really cool. So there's a gunshot. Now, we don't know how it's a reverse gunshot with the bullet going into my chest and the blood going into my chest. We don't know how that's going to play, with big tech. But so we are going to put that out on YouTube probably in a couple of days. Maybe, who knows, maybe we'll drop it on the 20th. I don't know. But the video is dope. The song Beast Brain is incredible. As I've tried to deal with my own demons as a person who was, incarcerated as a youth, as a person that has a lifelong history of drug and alcohol abuse, as a person who was in a mental institution, when I was a teenager for an entire year, California Youth Authority, JAWS program, like, Somar Juvenile Hall, like I grew up, like essentially a criminal. And so how have I managed to deal with this mind, right? And deal with this idea of, in meditation, they have the monkey mind, right? And it's your base instincts, right? It's the thing that's always causing problems, right? You wake up in the morning, you're just thinking about like what's fucked up, right? First thing that happens in my brain is like, I think about what's fucked up and what I need to fix. Now, why? Because for thousands and thousands of years, when you woke up in the morning, there wasn't no food. Like you were going out and you were going hunting or you were going to die, right?
Right.
Well, what were you going to wear, or who's coming to kill you? What animals sniffing around, your cave, right? So it's called the monkey mind, right? So I took this idea of the monkey mind and monkey mind is not a very sexy name, but this name Beast Brain came to my drummer. And he showed me this riff. I said, man, we need a song about this idea, right? And we need a song about like taming this idea. Like we need a song about taming this monkey mind, right? Now, how do we tame the monkey mind, right? Well, we meditate, right? But we take it a step further, right? We don't meditate like this, right? Like traditional meditation. We meditate like this with devil horns, right? And it's called meditating. And if I want to take it to like the next level, I go full, who's this? It's the demon from Kiss. It's my boy, Gene Simmons, right? We take it to the next level, and now we're demon-tating. And I've actually managed to levitate. I don't know if I really levitated, but I felt like I levitated one time when I was doing the meditation, right? The demontation. But what can you do? Well, you can tame your beast brain. You can tame the monkey mind.
You can keep going.
Yeah.
Keep going and don't stop.
That's right.
And I think that's what, music and rock and roll is all about. And
hell yeah, it is.
That's the whole thing. I just want people to understand an artist. And really what the struggles are, because I was interviewing bands all the way through pandemic. Like as I was.
Oh, I know.
Bands,
yeah, I know. I've been really enjoying
up.
I've been really enjoying your page and your YouTube channel, and it's very, very cool.
I really want artists such as yourself to be pushed to the forefront and say, look, check this out.
Yes.
I'm sick of cookie cutter bands.
Yeah.
Let's get back to it, right?
Back to rock and roll, man. Let's get back to partying all night. Let's get back to illicit sex in the bathroom at venues, consensual illicit sex. Let's get back to the time where people were oh my God, look at the outline of Freddie Mercury's penis while he's standing there. I'm going to send you this picture. While he's standing there talking to David Bowie. Have you ever seen that picture?
No, I don't think so. I think
Hilarious.
I might have.
He's standing there. It's like the US Festival. He's standing there talking to David Bowie, and he's got this it looks like he's got a sausage in his pants. And I don't know if it could be a real sausage, right? It could have been
I've seen it. That's
Yeah, and he's
crazy.
just standing there with this immense heart on talking to David Bowie. Like, man, what happened? What happened? We're all scared now.
Let's
And
get
that's
to,
another
you
reason
know what? Fuck
for the
that shit.
makeup, right?
Forget it.
Yeah,
Let's get back to the party, man.
yeah.
What
let's get back-
happened to those days,
Yeah.
man, where we knew there was going to be a band down at the club?
Yeah.
It was almost 6 o'clock. We want to cut out early. I mean, come on,
Yes.
like, what happened to those days, man?
What happened to like guys wearing women's clothes on stage?
Right?
Why is that bad now? They're like, oh, you're a drag artist. Like, no, I'm not. Who fucking cares, man? Like,
Right.
what's the problem? Like, let's get crazy.
Right.
Let's have fun.
I would just like to, let's just say, we want to get the excitement back, man. We want these people rocking again.
That's right.
You know, we want them to come to the shows.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, that's the whole thing, is getting people to get out back into the clubs.
Yeah. So I want to talk about, before we end, I know we're getting close.
Well, that's okay. Let's keep
I
going.
want to talk about a couple bands that people need to check out. Okay. Frankie Clark and the Studs, female fronted, glam rock, dirty badass band. Starcrawler, female fronted, dead sexy as hell, lead vocalist, grunge punk. All right. Max Fight, male fronted. I don't even know how he is. He male? I don't know. He's just a sexy masculine figure.
Right.
I don't know. He just says it. He doesn't say he or she. But whatever. Max Fight. You want to talk about Carl Rather? You want to talk about Carl Hungus? Carl Hungus plays in that band.
No,
that band is grunge pop, but super modern. Amazing. Those are my 3 recommendations for the indie bands that your fans need to check out now.
For sure. Carl is a great bass player, man. I love that guy.
We just call him we just call him Hungus, and don't ask me why, because I don't want to be inappropriate.
You know what? That's okay. Carl and I are friends, so you know I dig it, man.
When you're on a bus with Carl for a while, you realize some stuff. He doesn't brag about it. He doesn't talk about it.
Right? But no, Carl's a good dude, man.
That man is
Carl's
fit.
Good people.
That man is fit up.
For sure. Well, Nick, let's talk about bands. Okay, so next Friday night,
yes,
the 19th.
The 19th.
Right?
Yep.
We've got Velvet Chains. We got
Great
Five
band.
Cobra.
Great band.
And we got John Van Bolt and Van Bolt.
Yeah.
This is going to be a great show. I hope everybody comes out in Vegas.
Yes.
Not fly in, because it's going to be a great party.
Are you going to be there? That's the question.
I'm going to be there. I would not miss it.
I thought for sure by your pause you're going to be like, I got to go to New York.
No. Not this month.
Oh
Not
my
this
God.
month.
I'm so stoked.
I'm stationary in Vegas this month. I'm good.
All right, Carol. I can't wait to meet you.
Yes.
It's so rad to talk to you, and I'm such a fan of the
great. Let's keep in touch, because I'm going to do a follow-up in 6 months here on what you guys are doing.
Yeah.
I think it's amazing.
Thank you.
Let's get that place packed.
Thank you.
Next Friday.
All right. Next Friday night. All right.
Come party with the Vegas Rock Goddess. I'll be there.
Thanks, Carol. Love you, man.
Okay. And we'll talk soon.
Let's meditate together sometime. We'll levitate. Woo!
See you soon.
All right.
Okay. Bye.
Take care.
Wow. Nick Frost, AKA Angel Dust. This guy is great. He's got a lot to say about the industry. And let me tell you, this is the year 2024. No more playing around. We are calling people out. So get ready. I'm the Vegas Rock Goddess, as you all know. Thanks for watching. Take care. Always like, and subscribe to On the Rocks Total Entertainment, because you never know who is going to show up next.